think it's important that you find what brings your heart alive. Find what might look insane to others, but it feels right to you. I'd say moral of the story is don't be logical, be
Oh,
delusional. Been doing a lot of self reflection, a lot of inner work again. I have my moments where I'm like I'm not doing anything spiritual and I'm just existing as a human. And then other times I'm like, I need to kind of dive back into myself, dive back into what I like to do. 'Cause, sometimes if I lose my spirituality a little bit, I don't know, I tend to lose myself. I tend to forget who I am, like deep down. And I can get very depressed or sad, just, normal human emotions, but it can overtake me sometimes a little more than I prefer it to. I met somebody and their mother actually really liked the way that I wrote, even though the way that I wrote back then was very depressed. It was still loving, but it was the subtle love that's very not healthy, very anxious, attached, that kind of thing. So I actually did end up stopping writing just because that the way that I was writing was fueling the part of me that I don't necessarily like or enjoy. And I think I was attached to somebody for a very long time to the point where whenever I did write, I thought it was about them. I didn't know how to separate who I was from that person, from loving that person. Um, and I don't know why, but just recently, I don't know what it was in my spiritual journey and kind of in my realizations that I realized like it's just who I am. It's not anything to do with that person. Where like I actually started writing again, and I actually really enjoy it because it's not it is towards a person, but it's not towards a specific person. It's towards the person I may meet, the person that I might find and stumble upon in my life. I've met multiple people where this feeling comes up within me, and I thought that it was like that person caused that feeling, and then I realized it's that they opened up my own recognition of my feeling of who I am, of the love within myself. It's not that they are the source of that love, it's that they are a mirror for me to see my own love through them, if that makes sense. Love cannot always be put into words, so a lot of the stuff that I've been writing, like, it doesn't always make sense, but I guess I'm gonna just show it to you. Pretty much, this is like letters to my future person, if you will. I'm talking to her as if she is here, but I'm also talking to her as if she's not here. Like I'm talking to somebody who I want them to read this. Whether she reads this before she meets me or during meeting me, it's really just like me kind of expressing how I feel about love, how I feel about life, God, spirituality, but more mostly specifically just like how I perceive love, I guess. Um, like this, for example, I know love, I feel love, I am love. A lot of people when they read stuff like this, like I was kind of like self-conscious as to what I was writing, because I say stuff like this, like I am love, and people are probably like, what the fuck does that mean? Because usually most people say I am in love. I think love is the one thing that we can't figure out. We can't seem to put a label on it. It's not something that can be understood. It's only something that can be felt. Which I think I write that in here. Yes, here. You can't know the soul, you can't know source, you can't comprehend or understand it, and I think that's everybody's long lost journey is to try to understand it. That's why we have all these different religions, all these different spiritualities. But like at the end of the day, at the core of every spirituality and at the core of every religion is it's it's love. It's there's something behind that belief that is causing somebody to feel this sense of peace, sense of awe or joy, and that feeling. Love isn't really a feeling. I don't even know if it is a feeling. I don't know. I think it's just there's like layers to love. I think there's layers to source, there's God, and then outside of that is love, peace, joy, all the fruit of the spirit, and then that turns into ego and human and like emotions. think those are like the three layers. Um, so when you feel a certain way with somebody, when you feel peace and joy and love, uh, you're not feeling you're not feeling love, you're not feeling your ego, you're feeling like the source, you're feeling like the source of creation itself being awakened within you, which is, I don't know how to explain it. I sound like uber philosophical, but it is interesting after having like finding this part of myself where like I want to write again. This first this first letter here is 8 pages long. I think I wrote the first six pages in an hour, and then the last pages were just like throughout the day. But yeah, ever since kind of having some of these realizations, I've been doing this writing, and it's brought some of my aliveness back to me. It's brought me back to me. I'm learning how to feel again. I'm learning how to feel that love within me, because whenever I had these connections with these people, especially romantically, whenever I have a romantic connection with somebody, I just have this, it's just something that comes alive in me. It's like I wake up with this fervor for life. I see everything so vibrantly. I am excited to go about the day. Nothing can stop me if I have issues. It's like I'm not bothered by them. I'm excited. I'm full of life. I come alive. And then whenever that person leaves, it goes away. And I've never understood why. I've never understood like if that was just like people having power over me or what. And then I realized that it's not that. It's literally just that they're activating love within me, and I didn't realize that I can activate that within myself. And I think that's what this is doing. I always was waiting for somebody to come into my life to help me feel alive. But now that I'm writing, this is what's making me feel alive. And I think the reason why is because I'm tapping into that love center. I'm tapping into that source within me without needing somebody else to be the catalyst. Now, it is still extremely beautiful for somebody to be the catalyst, and I think that is the beauty of connection. I think that's the beauty of relationships, is that somebody can be a mirror of who you are. But I think it's important that before I even find my person, maybe I've already found her and she's just churning away in the oven, and she's like baking in the oven, turning into a beautiful cake. I don't know, like, and then she's gonna come back. There is a possibility I have already met her, but I'm kind of leaving all of my options open where, I may have met her already, and maybe I haven't met her yet. I think being able to express myself without a specific person, just being able to express myself as who I am, and whoever aligns with it, and whoever recognizes me within it, then that's great. And I think that it's brought me so much more peace, because now I'm not tied to an outcome. I'm not tied to a person. My writing isn't attached to somebody. It's not attached to an outcome. And I guess if that's something that you have ever gone through, where it's like you feel like you're not able to be alive, or you're not able to trust in love or trust in the world because you don't have what you want in front of you yet, I'd say just try to find what does make you alive, what brings you alive. I guess for me, I realized that is writing. I'm able to write in ways that I never thought I could before. But maybe for you, it's like music. Maybe it's dancing. Maybe it's cooking. Maybe it's walks. Maybe it's exercise. There's something within you that makes you have and feel that like lighthearted feeling, and you don't need a person to cause that to happen. So I guess this is my way of trying to help you too, to be like, if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling down, um, even if you feel like you've reached the pinnacle of spiritual ascension, uh, like it's still normal. You're still going to be human at the end of the day, and I think it's important that you find what brings your heart alive. Find what might look insane to others, but it feels right to you. I'd say moral of the story is don't be logical, be delusional. Um, we only live this life once. There's no point to being, confined to the borders of reality.